Hey everybody, and welcome to the next map that I'm going to play, which is Crait. And this is just a demo map, meaning it will feel very much incomplete, but I think it is still worth checking out if it is in a playable state at the moment, and what we can kind of look forward to. So this is by the same creator who also did the Naboo map and the Kashyyyk map for Battlefront 2 that tries to imitate the maps that we have from the EA Battlefront 2. And this also kind of does the same thing with that. This is all part of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 Demake projects, which again is very impressive because it tries to replicate the newer games in this almost 15-year-old game, and it does it pretty well. Now, I do have to say that initially the Naboo map and Kashyyyk map are at a further stage, and as I said, this is very early on, and therefore not that well playable. And I could maybe say, okay, do I recommend checking it out? Is it at a playable state now? And I kind of have to say, not really, but there are some things that this map has against it. Purely from a personal side, the Battle of Crait, I think, is quite boring. I think it's quite boring in the movie. I think it's quite boring in the EA Battlefront game. And aesthetically, it's very beautiful, you know, with the salt plains and, of course, the red that comes up when all the vehicles drive over it. But even in the movie itself, there's not much of a battle going on. It's just the resistance ships heading towards the walkers and then breaking off at the last second, and then that's it. There's not really a battle to speak of. Even Hoth, that of course where the rebels need to evacuate quite quickly, there is at least a bit of a battle going on throughout that. And we have the walkers here. The walkers look great. I don't believe you can interact with them. I'm actually going to see if I can get... For a moment there, I thought that TIE fighter was going to kamikaze in the other one.
Radar non-operational. Switching to manual.
So it is cool that we can actually get into these TIEs right here, get a better look of the map itself. They are static models, but I don't believe you can interact with them. Might actually even work as a temporary turret, if that would make things easier.
Fire on that bomber.
But even for flying in a TIE fighter, there's not a whole lot to do. That's not necessarily the map's fault, but if I'm not mistaken, there's not a whole lot of resistance going on here by the opposite team. I think Rey is the only one that has the Falcon, and I don't know if the Falcon is actually available here, but even if so, it would be still kind of boring because you only have one other air vehicle to deal with. It is cool, though, that we have the custom vehicles on the opposite side. We'll switch in a moment to see how that works out. But yeah, basically flying, all you'll be doing is like strafing runs for ground troops. There's quite a big battle going on the ground, though. It can actually become quite hectic and definitely feels like XL. There is one other issue, though, and that is here we have the trenches, and a lot of the units will get stuck in the trenches and will not be able to get out. You can see here they're just trying to be in here. And again, this is a demo, so this might all still be improved, but we're just taking a look at the current state. For example, you can actually see there are no textures behind that door. That is something that I won't take it in disregard there. Also, there's not a whole lot of skybox there, but again, those are things I can look past. Just trying to see how playable it is. And if you think about it too, for example, the Hoth map itself, right, the Hoth battle again has more to do because there are more turrets that the rebels can use. They can use snow speeders, they can use tauntauns. There's a ton to do despite it being a very defensive map for the rebels, and that's not the case here. The creator might actually have to go a little bit like freehand or freestyle with this in order to make it more interesting from a gameplay perspective. There are, for example, those towers you see over there, with like the mini bunkers with turrets, but you can also not interact with those. The trenches are, of course, regular trenches. I would definitely like to see in the future updates if they can, for example, make more underground trenches, like the cave system underneath the trenches, like you have in the EA Battlefront map. I think that would be very cool and very unique in a game like this. It's the same thing with, for example, Man of War. In the Star Wars mod for Man of War, there are some Crait maps out there, and it just doesn't offer a whole lot of interesting gameplay. It feels like, and that's also to what the movie does, it feels like a Hoth version that's less fun. It's like the B version of the Battle of Hoth. We'll do one more, and then we'll actually switch. See what the resistance has going on. I want to get into one of those ships. You can see they definitely they're very fragile, first of all, but they also pilot very strangely. And the issue, of course, with so many units getting stuck in the trenches is that in the beginning you actually do have quite a big battle on the field here, but you can see now that a lot of units are stuck, so the battle itself has died down a little bit. Has the map potential? Absolutely. Again, I think it's very impressive that, you know, the look of it is quite well done. Actually, I would have switched, but didn't I? But, you know, the look with the walkers. Actually, that is one thing, too. So, I only see the new walkers, but if you do remember the scene from the movie, there's actually maybe 2 or 3 regular AT-ATs in the mix as well, and that could actually be a great addition to this map, because, you know, AT-ATs are already in a vanilla game, so you can put those in, and they are immediately playable, making, you know, giving a bit more variety to do for the First Order side here. But again, it's then all about making it fun gameplay-wise for both factions. Here we go. Here we got a large group of resistance. Oh, this unit's very strong. He's very beefy. Alright, let's actually now do switch. Bait and switch. What do we got? Again, I do love the addition of some older Hoth units as well. I do think they look very cool, and they do fit the profile. I assume, too, that in the future, the base will actually be added to make a little bit more, you know, expansive map. I just hope that the AI will actually be able to traverse that as well. Let's see what the situation is here. Alright, well, actually, now not as many units are stuck, though I still see them. It's more at that side, isn't it? Yeah. Like, this image right here, this is pretty cool. But in a sense, it's not that different from, let's say, you know, a big battle map. You know, Big Battle 3, Big Battle 2. Those things are very similar. Also, this trench is actually very different looking, which is very cool. But the issue here is that it's very glitchy, and I think you can actually fall through the world if you're not careful here. You can actually take a look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, oh god. I was about to fall through. So again, cool on the eye, and I hope that this becomes interacted with in the future updates. And, you know, that's it. That's the problem with this battle. There's not a whole lot to add on the map itself, is there? Oh, there goes one of those speeders.
The force is strong with us.
Oh, how I wish we actually got a Luke like this, taking part in the battle instead of what we got in The Last Jedi. There's one of those speeders. Don't have a whole lot of time left on my hero unit. Nope, actually, I'm dead. See if we unlocked something. There it is. Yeah, it's also glitchy with that disappears. Well, hopefully I can make this jump! Okay, there we go. Alright, let's see how this moves. So at least I can fire with it, but it it's not the most stable type of vehicle. It's still fun though. I do like the addition of it. But again, it's so fragile. And again, this is not a critique to the map itself, but more just the movie and the thing. It's like, what are these things gonna do? Snow speeders, at least, you know, they're not that powerful, right? They just got some blasters, but they got the tow cables. You know, they got that one thing that is the Achilles heel of the walkers, and they can take them down with that. It's very cool and very believable. But these things, what are these things gonna do? These things are also, oh god, it's gonna turn on a little bit of a rant, but just their design too. They're just made to, you know, create that beautiful red pattern in the salt. It's so weird, and I crashed against the invisible thing. Basically, that invisible thing was Rose Tico. That's what happened. So, in terms of, like, conclusion with this map, I think it has potential. I think it can be something very interesting, but compared to some of the other Demake projects, I think it will be the least interesting one, purely because of how the initial battle plays out with Crait, and that it's not as interesting as other battlefields out there. In terms of, is it playable at the moment? I would not recommend it. Because, let's say, okay, you want to take, you know, a hand at some of the First Order units or the Resistance units. There are better maps out there that offer that feel more complete. And, there's not a whole lot of new things to discover here. Maybe the speeder, but after driving that thing for, like, a minute, I'm already done with that. I'm very surprised that TIE fighter stayed all the way here. Let's actually end with that, shall we?
Take that fighter down.
There we go. They are very powerful. And again, see, automatically it becomes a little bit more fun for me now as I have a, you know, a bigger target than just infantry. I can actually go in for a proper attack run and take him down. See? It's simple, but it's effective and pretty cool. And the issue here is that they simply don't have that.
You're going the wrong way.
Oh, okay. Shit. Ooh. I wanted to see if there may be, like, maybe a secret behind the thing or something, but no. But yeah, the issue is that for the Empire, or the First Order in this case, there's not a whole lot to blow up. Let's say you add actually more speeders, that's still not that interesting. You know, having turrets, having walkers, those things are interesting for air vehicles to blow up. But that, of course, was not the case with the Battle of Crait. Oh, that one's stuck now. We only have a handful left, but I wonder if all of them are in the trenches. Oh, now all of the First Order units are in the trenches. Great. Let's actually see if we can do something about that. Shotgun. Yeah, I think shotgun time. Oh dear. They might actually be stuck to a point where they won't actually get shot. See, this is actually cool, right? This mimics the deep trenches from the EA Battlefront game. You know, would need a little bit better textures, kind of like how the glitched out trenches are, and then it would be super, super cool and very impressive. But again, you have the issue there with the units, and some of them actually, you know, manage to get out, so they're not completely stupid, but they leave a lot to be desired. Let's take this one. This one has like the super fast one. Again, this can be super cool, and we've not really seen trenches like this that are where the walls are so high in many other maps. Making it really cool. I'll do one more spawn after this as Luke. Oh my God! Look how what a beast I am. Huh! I cleared an entire group like that. This is fun, but also shows how overpowered that unit is. Okay. Oh, and there we go. Didn't get a chance to use Luke. Anyway, guys, if you still want to check out this demo, you can do so by checking out the link in the description down below. Don't forget to let me know any recommendations or requests of maps or mods you want to see on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.